Good morning, Internet. Welcome back to the Antigravity Crashpad. I thought today would be a nice day just to do the good base overview. And I figured I'd start down here. For any of you who have not built a petroleum boiler, it really doesn't get much simpler than this. Some source of heat, whether it's a magma biome or a volcano, a door, and a sensor. Some radiant pipe and dump it off. What am I running right now? Yeah, right now I'm running 5 kilos. For even big bases, 1 or 2 kilos is enough to run most of your base. It's definitely enough to run your rocket program. Even on the base camp, I used to run 1 kilo petroleum boilers, and that provided all the fuel I needed for the base. I've got this one oil well running, but I've got plenty of petroleum stored up, so I don't even need it. Gotten most of the water cleaned up. We're now melting all of this ice. And to help with that, I ran the input for the oil well through the tiles. I tried making these radiant, but then they just broke. So now they're just granite. And then it comes over here and cools down the oil for no other reason than I felt like it. Somehow this worked. Some polluted water and water got in here and filled this up with the polluted oxygen, but then the pressure was high enough that it didn't evaporate. And so we've got oil, carbon dioxide, and polluted oxygen, and I never bothered cleaning it up. I wanted to see if it would fail, but that little blob stayed. And then I've been slowly coring out the area. I did find another iron volcano that I just forgot about. Ooh, what were you? Oh, maybe I never even looked at this one. Another carbon dioxide geysers. Wow, this map had a lot of carbon dioxide geysers. There's one, there's one, there's one. Thought there was another one up here. Now it's infectious polluted oxygen. Okay. My big ass water tank. Don't put a water tank over your base. That's just a bad idea and left all sorts of messes that were entirely my own fault. But my crazy piping design worked. I got pipes going everywhere. Food-wise, we've been holding steady right around 3.5 million calories. I think I've got more sleet wheat than bristleberry. Yeah, I've got 800 sleet wheat grains. Some of that's lying around the base, but I could definitely increase my bristleberry farm and get more berry sludge made. But with 1.7 million calories, that's not a problem. My nice little ice box here for the sleet wheat has worked out great. The sour gas boiler, it's one of those designs I like. I've got the video I made now a long time ago showing how to make it. 2 kilos a second of natural gas or petroleum turned into sour gas is a huge amount of power. I mean, it is running all of these natural gas generators flat out. This is actually one more than it can handle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so this is 21. And I think the math works out that it can run 18 or 19 constantly, but we've also got natural gas coming back in from here. Yeah, maybe that cooling loop isn't doing anything anymore. Whatever, it's fine. Speaking of gases, I went and ran gas pipes all over the place because pressurizing the base stops most of the outgassing. So as you get the oxygen pressure up, then slime and polluted water stop outgassing, and you don't have as much of a mess, in the main part of the base. And you get these nice little stripes of polluted oxygen. The triple battery stack was good, but I did run into some issues with the power wire being on the wrong side. To get in there the first time, I actually took out a lot of the batteries, put in the wires where I wanted them, and then put the wires back in. It was easier getting the wires on the other side. But huge amounts of power. My power grid, right, it's kind of neat. And, you know, it's all kind of coming from over here. But it worked. Plumbing wise, you know, pipes going everywhere. I did disconnect the rocket liquid pipes because I was just breaking them. This rocket design worked out quite well. You know, having the oxygen system contained inside of a rocket, separating out the living area, and the exosuit forge worked. I'm sure there are more efficient designs, and I will probably play with them next time. That just... that statue makes me laugh. I would love to hear from people as to what you want to see in the next playthrough, whether you want more spaced out, or I got a couple requests for the vanilla game, which I haven't played in a while. It's a definite interesting. How much super coolant did I end up with? 31 tons of super coolant. And we haven't used all the fullerene yet. Wow. Oh, the shipping thing looks a little weird. Yeah, so I'm taking clay and coal from over here and shipping it off to be turned to ceramic, and there's... I thought there'd be more there. I must have been using it. Plastic-wise, we've got only 20 tons, but I'm only running that one. I used to have 2 of them. My funky metal tamers. Oh, there's a question. I have not looked at this in a while. So yeah, the air pressures come way down. How much tungsten do you tell me? You don't. I mean, this has been running since I was here. Oh, it looks like we've got 37 tons of tungsten plus whatever's already in there. But yeah, all this stayed alive. Way to go, me. I never came back to the magma volcano because there was no need. Nobody's over here, but I'm betting there is, yeah, 20 tons of iron there, 25 tons of iron there. And the gas pressure is slowly coming down, but this vent is disconnected. So I could just reconnect that vent if I wanted to. And I did kill the puff. So yeah, this base will just sit here and wait with the batteries nice and full. And then I didn't do anything on the water planet besides land there and dig down. And I didn't do anything else over here besides build the mini pod. So that's kind of my view of the big asteroid on Spaced Out. It really reduces your need to go to the other planets. Like, you've got everything here, so you don't have to go other places. You can, you got to go there to put in the mini pods, but you don't actually have to go there to progress in the game like you do on the small asteroids. So I think overall on Spaced Out, I like the small asteroids better. I think they're more fun and more of a challenge. I never even dug up this right side. In terms of space, what did we end up with? 17. So at one point we had 18 dupes, and we're at 17 now because iTwitch went on a little adventure through the void. I don't know if I'll put showers back in. That was just kind of a, I hardly ever build showers, why don't I put some in? And I think they are just more of a waste of time than anything. And who knows, maybe next time I'll put in one big oxygen system as opposed to 3 little ones, but I like this design. It's easy to build in the early game, requires much less resources, and is good for about 16 dupes. How many rad pills do I have? Only 200. I thought there'd be more. radiation-wise, the base is all perfectly fine except where the resorts are at. We did dump all the polluted water from digging up that section, which is now being pumped. There's a question. So petroleum, we're at 40-ish thousand. Polluted water, 150,000. Brine, 50,000. Water, 50,000. And why are there a bunch of stone hatches down here? They must be dropping them down the ladder. Like, they're just down there having fun. Yeah, so getting pips to plant some sleepweeds and some bristleberries. Like, I have not even used up this water tank. And this water tank has been feeding the bristleberries. And yet I have not run out. So kind of a fun, easy playthrough on a big asteroid. I definitely enjoyed it. You know, trying to save the Abyss Light, I'm not sure. I ended up with this huge starting biome that didn't have any Abyss Light, so kind of saving it didn't really mean anything, because, yeah, I had this huge area to work with. Other areas, you know, I guess if you like that look of leaving that organic and trying to fit stuff in around it, like using it as the insulation for the iron volcano and the storage, great. Play the game however you like. Me, I like tearing everything up and dropping it to the bottom. My dupes, as you can tell by the sweep commands, I didn't hire that many sweepers. One thing the big asteroid definitely made me do was transit tubes. When you got a big asteroid, you need some tubes to travel. On the small asteroids, you don't really need them as much. I always think I can zoom out farther on the star map. I guess I haven't really been collecting artifacts, and that's kind of true in the base game as well. That, like, yeah, they're nice, but you don't really need them. So I think the only place I mined was this once. No combat. But yeah, 3 stone hatches, some bristleberry and a sleepweave farm, and we've got just a ton of food. And in here, there's 2 pips and a Dreco. 2 Drecos. Somehow they got in there and keep dropping eggs and reproducing. So 800 cycles later, there's still some critters living in frozen chlorine. I wonder about the critters in this game. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I've now been doing Oxygen Not Included for quite some time, and I still like the game. Admittedly, I like the early game better than the late game, because I like that challenge. But the late game is fun. Like, once you get the base settled and stable, and you're not worried about your dupes dying all the time, you can then spend a bunch of time trying to get the radiation sorted. You can come to the next base and spend all your time getting tamers worked out and not have to worry about coming back to your main base and having it be destroyed, except, you know, by your own mistakes. So I hope you all have enjoyed. Do these even have? I guess it's just squelchy cluster. Hopefully you've enjoyed the anti-gravity crash pad on the squelchy cluster. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see next time. And again, thanks for all the comments on all the videos, and thank you for watching.